Hello, friends, and welcome back to the TDP. It's Monday on day 4 of my TDP adventure, and I just wanted to knock out my 10 minutes and, let everybody know what's up. We got a whole new week. We don't have a bad case of the Mondays because guess what? We're going to be positive and move forward, and before we know it, it will be Friday again. First, we got to go to Tuesday, which we just call Tuesday, then Wednesday, which obviously we call Hump Day. Thursday's Friday Eve, and then Friday is just unstoppable joy on Friday for sure. All right, guys. Like I said, no real agenda. Just thinking back though, trying to get lessons learned from my 3 episodes last week, just rewatching some of those, and I noticed, and I know now everybody else is going to notice, but I say a lot after every point I make. Almost I say I'm going to work on that. I do have a lot of uhs and ums. I should know that by now. I've had formal training during my military career. I've had a lot of practice during my civilian jobs, public speaking and things. I should know better than to use those pauses. You got to use mental pauses, but you should not. I should not verbalize those, and I do it a lot. So, I'm going to work on that. One thing I don't really, like I said, I don't really have an agenda, but something that some thoughts from last week's episodes. There I go. But yeah, I had a big gratitude. Gratitude's a huge part of my life. I wake up every morning with gratitude, and I talked about that Friday. And I re-listened to that episode, and I felt comfortable with it. I just wish that I wish I would have mentioned my kids and grandkids because I do cherish them. I have very thankful for my kids, and my kids are grown. Like I have a 21-year-old son who is in college, and my 27, 28-year-old daughter, she's in She's a mama, and she's got a wonderful family and 2 beautiful grandkids, and she's a registered nurse. So I'm very proud, very, very proud of both of my kids. And I would like to tell their story, and I will, for sure. But it would take a lot longer. I feel like it would take a lot longer than 10 minutes, and I don't want to sell either one of them short because they're just both phenomenal and amazing people, and that's like my pride and joy of my life was raising them, so I didn't mean to leave them out. I just it's a given for me. Anybody who knows me and that's been around me knows, like, those are my people, and I would go to the wire with them for sure. So a couple of things I wanted to talk about though, and like I said, I'll definitely come back to and tell their stories when I have like a longer form. I really want to keep to 10 minutes, and it will be hard to explain, how proud I am of them and that, their accomplishments and things like that in just a 10 minutes. So I'm going to move on. I just wanted to talk about change a little bit, in our lives. And I know for me, I embrace it, being from the military. I know that change happens no matter what. And there's nothing really we can do about change except for embrace it and try to make it work to our advantage. So if you're in your life and there's some change that has to happen, and even if it is reluctant and not your choice, I would definitely suggest trying to embrace that. I used to have a boss in the Air Force who would say, embrace the suck. If you're having a change and it sucks, embrace the suck. Try to make it the best. Try to work it out to your advantage, because I promise everybody else hates change. The people who are going to succeed and come out on the other side of that change with success are the ones that embrace it, and try to make it work for them. So change is important, change is essential, change is necessary, change sucks, change is everything. Change, you know, you gotta work through it, you gotta embrace it, and I promise you'll see that you'll be stronger because you did, and you'll see that change isn't that scary. I was listening to some podcasts and stuff this weekend, and there's one, like, sometimes I'll listen to a podcast with Mike Tyson on it, and I hear him talk a little bit, and I'm like, well, sometimes he just says stuff, but I'm telling you, if you listen to Mike Tyson talk, there's some definite wisdom. I've got 3 quotes from him that I'm going to share, and each one is profound and even prolific. I mean, I think he's great, and they kind of run up to each other. So a couple things. So like here's the way I kind of want to frame these 3 quotes from Mike Tyson. I want to frame them like as you are heading toward a goal in your life, right? Like anything worth it. So this isn't a Mike Tyson quote. I don't know whose quote this is. I'm sure it is someone's quote. Someone had to say it first, right? But I will say this. This isn't one of the 3 that I was picking, but here it is. Anything worth having is worth working hard for. Anything that you didn't work hard for probably isn't that valuable. At least you would be willing to give it up easier because you didn't have to work hard for it. So I'm pretty dang sure I didn't just come up with that. I'll look it up, but like that's one of the things that I will frame these 3 Mike Tyson quotes that I'm getting ready to say. Anything worth having is worth working for, right? So here's the first one. Working for something that you want. Discipline is doing what you hate to do like you love it. I don't care what it is. And this is Mike Tyson quote, right? I'm just kind of like I was floored when I listened to him say this. I mean, it doesn't seem, it's pretty simple, but like it's so true. Discipline is doing what you hate to do like you love it. All right. So like, let's say you have a goal, and your goal is to run a 5K, or your goal is to, start a business or something. It takes discipline to do those things. You have to practice every day. You have to do all the legwork. You have to make those calls. You have to do the things that need to be done in order to get there. That's what discipline is. That's what you learn. People associate discipline with, when I was a kid, my parents disciplined me. No, okay, I get it. They say that's discipline. Okay, that's discipline, but it's really not. Discipline is getting up every day and doing what you need to do in order to meet your goals in life. And you have to get up and attack those goals just like you love them. You attack those tasks that you need to do to get to those goals like you love them. So brilliant Mike Tyson quote, discipline is doing what you hate to do like you love it. The next one is kind of about actualization, I guess. Here it is. You have to be the champion before you can become the champion. And that's a Mike Tyson quote. My stepdad used to tell me, you guys will probably end up hearing me talk about my stepdad a lot. But, as a kid, I was always, you know how it is in the world of kids. It's other kids are mean, right? So you might get picked on or something. So there's a lot of anxiety for some kids, you know, when they go to school. They're just worried. So if you have to be the champion before you become the champion. And back my stepdad and my mom and, you know, most of the mentorship and most of the people from my childhood come from a different generation, and they had to fight. So, you know, when I would tell my stepdad, hey, this kid's picking on me, you know, I don't know what to do, he'd be like, well, you're probably going to have to fight him. You know, that's how you do. You got to take up for yourself. You can't take it, you know. And I'm like, well, I don't want to hurt someone, and I don't know if I really enjoy fighting that very much, and which is still true. I think it's true for everybody, most of the people anyway. But he's like, oh, you got to fight before you fight. It's got to be in your mind. You know, you got to know, you got to be ready for it. You know, so I think that's kind of like what Mike Tyson's saying here. You have to be the champion before you become the champion, and that can apply to, just like I said, just like if you run a 5K or starting a business, you have to envision that, you have to actualize it, you have to live that, you have to do it before you actually do it. You have to do it in your mind. You have to be mentally capable of picturing yourself in that situation. So I thought that was a very brilliant quote from Mike Tyson. And the last one is something that, you know, I thought was very, very, and I don't know if I've ever had. Yeah, this one, you'll know when you hear it. If you think money will make you happy, then you have never had a lot of money. I don't think I've ever had a lot of money. Maybe. Not much, anyways. Maybe middle class or whatever. But, you know, I think that's where, like, the wisdom here is, like, in the values, your personal values. You can't let that money that you have change you or change your mind or make you be a different person. So 3 quotes. Discipline is doing what you hate to do like you love it. You have to be the champion before you become the champion. And if you think money will make you happy, then you have never had a lot of money. So I think they run up to each other. I think they're good to think about as you're trying to get to your goals in life. I think that change is inevitable, and I think that today's Monday, and it's a new opportunity for a new awesome week, and I will leave it there. I'm way over my 10 minutes. I'm at 12 and a half right now, so I will leave you with this. Y'all have a wonderful week. I hope you achieve what you're setting out to do, and I will see you tomorrow on the TDP. Deuces.